When I'm working in Cricut Design Space, a lot of times I have a lot of images, a lot of elements, just a lot going on one page. And organizing it can be time consuming if you don't organize it right. I'm going to show you in this video how to use your layers panel to organize your images and your elements so that you can find them and save time. This is a new series that I have. It's called Quick Tips with Cricut. And tip number 1 is in this video. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get to it. Hi everyone, I'm Vanessa S of By Vanessa S and welcome to my channel. And if you've been here before, welcome back to my channel. You know how this goes. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Ring the bell so you'll be notified of future videos, and of course subscribe. And don't forget to share. Sharing is caring. There's a lot that we know about Cricut and how to use Cricut, but then there's some real basic elemental things that some people don't. And so I am going to take this summer to show you all weekly just a quick tip for using Cricut, all of your Cricut products. So we're starting this one in Design Space. And this was going to be really easy because you probably knew what it was, but you didn't know it existed. So what I want to show you is the layers panel. Now notice on my screen here, I have a lot of different shapes and a lot of different colors. And most people that work with Cricut are the same way. You'll have multiple shapes, multiple colors, you'll have multiple images, and just organizing it and keeping it straight can be a little bit difficult, especially when it comes to this layers panel, because everything in the layers panel is stated just as is, square. Okay. Now, if you change the color of the square, it will show you the color of the square. But what happens when you want to have a square or a shape and you have different sizes for it? For instance, this is a small square. This is a large square. And I know what it is by clicking on it because my layers panel tells me it's a square and it's a basic cut. But what if I want to define it even more? Well, here's the key. You can right click on it and rename it in the layers panel. So, okay, so now this is a square. This is the large square. I'm going to rename it large square. And now I know that this, when I click on this, I'm clicking this one. But how about this one? This was a small square and it's telling me that this is the square that I'm clicking on right here. But I can click on this one and it's a square too. I can click on this one, it's a square too. So how do I know which square I'm going to get? Well, I can do two things. One, I can change the color. Maybe I'll change it to blue. That's going to tell me it's a blue square, but it's still not telling me what size it is or which square it is. So it's going to be the blue square, but this is 1 by 1. It's a 1 by 1 size square and it's a blue square. So I am going to right click in the layers panel, rename it, and I'm going to call it the 1 by 1 blue square. And now when I'm looking for it, I can find it. The layers panel helps with organization, but it also helps just to find things. Like I said, if you're like me and you have a lot of different elements on your screen, having everything named as I need it to be named is helpful. Let's look at the football. Okay, this is the large football. Right here, it says weld result. Would I look for weld result when I'm looking for a football in my design panel? No, I can change it. I'm going to go up here, rename it, and I'm going to call it large football. And then I have a small football. I can do the same thing again because it's telling me weld result. Now, if it's a different size, you can add the size. If it's a different color, you can add the color, even though it will show you the color here. But here's the thing. Notice that this color football and this color football are the same colors, but they're two different sizes. So even if I did look for a purple football, it's not telling me unless I rename it what I'm looking for. Okay, so when does this actually become a benefit to you? So if you have several images and elements on your page already, and you can see them, that's fine, like I have right now. I've switched it up a little bit. Okay, so if I have my elements here, and I can see them all fine right now. And even if I do change them to football purple, or if I change them to mandala, when does it actually kick in to what it actually is or what I can find? Well, let's look at it. So right now I have 6 purple footballs, 2 mandalas, 1 that's green, 1 that's yellow, and 3 red circles. All right. And that's what I see right here. Okay. Now, let's say I change this to a small circle, and I'm going to change this one to a very large circle, and this is going to stay a medium-sized circle. I'm going to change these to different size footballs. I'm going to make this one really tiny, and then maybe medium size, a little larger than medium size. Okay, so now I have different size footballs. My mandala, I'm going to make this a small mandala, and then I'm going to duplicate it and make a large mandala. Okay, and what does it say here? And this is, let me change my screen up here so we can see it all. Okay, we can see everything that I have. I'm going to take it down to 50%. Okay, we can see everything that I have now, right? Okay, and this is all fine. We can see it. But what if I'm working on this mandala and I want to work with this circle, and I really want to get the rest of these things out the way? So I'm going to hide them. I'm just going to hide everything. This is when having the elements, having the elements named can help. Because right now I have my large circle, my large red circle, and I have my mandala on my page. But right now I would really like the football. I want the small football. Which one of these is the small football? In order for me to know right now which football I'm getting, I have to unhide all of them. Okay, and I want the small football. This is the one I want. So if I go ahead and rename it using the layers panel, small football. Now, when I hide it, I don't have to search for it. That's the small football. Same with the circles. In order for me to find the small circle and the medium circle, I have to unhide each of them, release them. Instead, I can rename it tiny circle. And now I know this is a tiny circle. When I hide it, I'm looking for the tiny circle. This is a tiny circle. I can unhide it. Same with the mandala. Both of these are mandalas. The only way I'll know which one is which is if I unhide them both. Okay, one is the small, one is the large. I wanted this one. This is the small one. So what do? I rename it. Renaming your elements gives you the opportunity to find what you're looking for in an organized manner. And it saves a lot of time. You don't have to search for them. It's organized, it's structured. And that is the beauty and the benefit of using this layers panel and using the rename feature. So the tip, Using your Layers panel in Cricut Design Space, you can rename each of your images so that you can organize them in the way that you can find them. You can use color along with the name and the size just to stay organized and just to enjoy your crafting even more. So that's your tip for the week. I will see you next week with a new tip with Cricut.